Hi guys, it's your favourite teacher here. I thought we would have a go at finishing off Floodlands. We're about halfway through. I just had a quick flick through to try and remember where we're up to. We're up to page 63, which is chapter 8 in the then section. And I've just tried to remind myself what's happened so far. So Zoe is living in a very strange kind of situation. She's arrived on her own in her boat on an island full of horrible, horrible children. It's run by the Spat, Doobie and Munchkin, who are three horrible boys who seem to be in charge. There's some horrible girls there as well. And there's an older man called William who everyone seems to laugh at, but seems to know kind of what's going on. No one seems to know what's going on. They're surrounded by water and the water just keeps coming. And Zoe's trying to find out why the water's coming and what happened. She's also trying to find her parents as well. And to do that, she's trying to find her boat. Her boat's been taken. Her boat's called Leica. And Doobie's hidden the boat somewhere and she's trying to find it because she wants to escape. And the last chapter was where Zoe kind of saw someone get absolutely battered, really beaten up. The violence was really, really shocking. We were all really shocked when we read it. So, yeah, chapter 8. We'll give it a go. We'll see how we get on. It's a much shorter book. There's only about 60 pages left. I don't know if anyone's got a copy at home, but we're up to page 63 if you want to read along. Zoe got up from her bunk, checking to see that no one was watching her. She went back to the corridor where she'd spoken to Munchkin that morning. It was darker than ever now, and she stumbled around for a long time. At last her eyes got used to the darkness and she could pick out the shape of the walls beside her, but still she couldn't find what she was looking for. She tried feeling her way along the walls, but found nothing. She gave up. Sliding down the wall, she sat on the floor, deciding to stay here for a while. The noises from Doobie's room were almost inaudible here. That was something at least. She began to doze. Then, as if it was a dream, a line of light appeared in the darkness opposite her. She wondered if she had gone crazy, as the beam of light grew in front of her eyes. It was only a few paces to the left of where she sat. It hung motionless in the air for a moment, like a sword on fire. Then it grew out sideways at the top and the bottom, and got fatter. Finally, she realised what she was looking at. It was a small door opening in the wall, with a light behind. She was right. A moment later, she saw Munchkin step down from the door halfway up the wall. Zoe was terrified he'd seen her, but Munchkin's eyes had been exposed to the flickering light of his candle, and Zoe was still sitting in a dark corner. She watched as Munchkin carefully closed the door behind him. Zoe saw why she hadn't found it. Even staring straight at it, it was hard to see where the door was, now that it was shut. As soon as Munchkin was convinced he'd shut it properly, he blew his candle out. Zoe was sure this was something only he knew about, something he wanted to keep that way. He was moving extremely quietly and slowly. From the care he'd taken to make sure the door was invisible again, she knew this was one thing nobody else knew about, not even Doobie. Even as she sat there in the darkness, an idea came to her, and her heart started thumping so hard. Zoe thought Munchkin would hear it. He was so close that Zoe could smell the reek of smoke from the extinguished candle. She held her breath, thinking he was still there, but when she heard his feet shuffle at the end of the corridor, she realised that he had quietly walked away. Zoe thought for a moment. She felt that there might be a chance of a bargain to be had. If she could find out why Munchkin's hideout was such a secret, she might be able to bargain with him, get him to tell her where Leica was being kept. In return, she wouldn't tell Doobie about Munchkin's hidey hole. But she couldn't do anything about it now. She didn't have a light. She'd have to come back when it was light, sometime when Munchkin was doing something else. She put her hand out against the wall and counted her footsteps at the end of the corridor. She had to know how to find the place again. The following morning, Doobie called everyone into the centre of the cathedral to make an announcement. He climbed into the pulpit. "We can expect an attack," he said. "That spy was very helpful. He tells us that the cats are planning an attack in a few days' time. We must be ready when it comes. I will be discussing preparations for our defences with Spat and Munchkin. When I've decided what we need to do, they will inform you of your jobs. That's all for now." Doobie, Munchkin and Spat went off into Doobie's room. Zoe looked around. She saw Sarah and Molly standing nearby. Sarah was talking loudly about Spat, making sure no one would forget that he was her boyfriend, as if that were possible. Everyone seemed quite calm about the news, but Zoe's heart was racing, and then it stopped. Zoe had seen something that filled her with fear. She was watching Sarah showing off to the others. Then she saw her pull something on a cord around her neck from inside her dress. Attached to the cord was a pendant, a very unusual one. The cord it was strung on was normal enough, but the piece of jewellery itself was unmistakable. It was a big silver disc engraved with a pattern of the points of a compass. Not just the 4 main points, but the 4 more in between them. This compass had 16 big arrows and then another 16 minor points marked by fine lines. Zoe knew it in detail without needing to see it more closely, because it had been her mother's. Sarah stood pretending to clean it, but really it was just a part of her showing it off. Something broke inside Zoe, and she charged at Sarah. Zoe practically threw herself at her. "Where did you get that?" she yelled. Sarah had been taken by surprise, and for a moment she was too stunned to say anything. "It doesn't belong to you," shouted Zoe. "Give it to me." "Get off me," Sarah yelled back, pushing Zoe away. Zoe fought to grab the necklace from Sarah's neck, but she was held back by some of Sarah's friends. "Get lost, you little creep," yelled Sarah. "Get your hands off me." Zoe wrestled with them. "Let go of me," she screamed. "Give me that, it's not yours." "Stop her. Someone shut her up." "Where did you get it?" Zoe shouted. "Tell me." Zoe nearly broke free, but Molly came over and hit her across the face twice. "Shut up, you're crazy." She hit Zoe again, and Zoe had had enough. She sank into the arms holding her. They let her drop to the floor where she lay crying. Sarah came up to her. "Why do you want to know anyway? What's got into your little crazy head?" Zoe shook her head. If she told Sarah it was her mother's, they would never leave her alone. Besides, the fact that Sarah was wearing it was all Zoe needed to know. As if Sarah knew what she was thinking. She said, "Spat got this for me. It was a present to me, see? And the previous owner no longer has any need for it." She laughed and the others joined in. "Come on," she said to them. "Let's go, stinking little rat." They left Zoe huddled on the floor, muttering insults at her as they left. Zoe felt a hand on her shoulder. She looked up. It was William. "Zoe, my dear." His voice was kind and calm. Zoe just shook her head dumbly. "What was that all about?" William asked. Still, Zoe only shook her head. "Don't go looking for trouble, Zoe. Even Doobie won't look after you forever." "You don't understand," Zoe said through her tears. "That pendant, it's my mum's. It's my mum's. I'm sure of it." "Oh, Zoe," began William. "No," said Zoe. "I know it is." "But Zoe, I was going to say, that's good." "Good? How can it be good? If Sarah's got it and Spats gave it to her, then..." "No, that's just the point. Spat didn't give it to her. He wasn't even here when she got it. She just says he did because everyone thinks he loves her. I know where she got it. Everyone does. So stupid, that one. So vain." Zoe couldn't understand what William meant. "You're not making any sense. Tell me." "A ship came by, the last one we saw. Sarah got it from a woman on board." "What? When was this?" "Last year sometime. It's so hard to keep track, you see. Swimming on the open sea." Zoe wanted to keep William on the subject. "Did you see the woman who gave it to her?" "Oh," he said. "She didn't give it to her." "Then..." "She swapped it for some food. That's why Sarah's so stupid. What use is jewellery here? She gave food for it. Food, the only thing that's any use." William started laughing, and despite herself, so did Zoe. "That could have been my mum. That's just like her. But did you see her?" No, it was her husband who did the deal. There was a little boat, you see." "But they didn't take anyone with them. Why didn't you go?" "I think they'd sized us up pretty quickly. They said they were full, that they'd come back for us. Of course, they never did." That sounded right to Zoe. The captain hadn't even turned back for her. When he saw the bunch of savages on Eel's Island, he must have wanted to keep well away. "But why did they stop at all?" asked Zoe. "What? Why did they stop at all here? Why didn't they just keep clear and head on for the mainland?" William shrugged. They said they needed food. There was none on board, and some of them were near to death from it. They didn't even land. A few of them just rowed close in by a boat. Some of us went down to the shore. Wait, was this before or after Doobie came? Oh, before. He'd never let anyone swap food for jewellery. But why did she? Vain, see? They shouted across to us, "Food! We'll pay you for it!" Everyone told them to get lost. "Take us with you, and we'll bring some food," they said. Then the men on the boat said they were full and that they'd come back like I told you. They never did, of course. So what about Sarah? Ah, well, Sarah was different. She waded out to a boat with this great armful of food, and she came back with that necklace thing. Didn't anyone try and stop her? No, said William. Like I said, this was before Doobie got here. There was no one with any brains at the beach, see? Those that were, you know, they were a bit simple. They just watched her do it. There was a real fight about it later, though. People tried to get it off her, but she kicked and screamed till they left her alone. But she said she made the men in the boat promise to come back for them all when they weren't full. Never did, but then you know that, hey? Zoe's mind was reeling. This was the first news she'd had about her parents in a very long time, but it was good news. They'd been all right when they'd passed the island. They hadn't stopped, but gone on to the mainland. They must be all right, Zoe said to herself. But then doubt came into her mind again. If they were okay, why hadn't they come back to look for her? Perhaps it wasn't her dad who'd been on the boat and swapped Mum's jewellery for food. Maybe it was someone else. Maybe the only reason they had it swapped for food was... No, said Zoe aloud. They're okay, I know it. She told herself that seeing the pendant was a good thing. She wouldn't believe otherwise. But she had to find her parents. And to do that, she had to get off this stinking little island. I'm going to stop there. Stressful. See you tomorrow.